You loaded this video, you know what it is. It's time to play video games. You know what? Yeah, let's pop that Ascension 2 on. Let's start trying to ascend. Let's give ascending a little bit of a go here. Random common relic. I think losing your starting relic is a much more viable option now that there have been so many of the bad relics, or rather less immediately valuable results from the boss relic pool have been removed. Okay. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. The Watcher has a really, really good defensive set. And also, specifically, a defensive set that... Ooh, have to fight an elite. Specifically, a defensive set that is very, very good over the course of many turns. And usually singular large block cards as well. So, like, all of those kinds of things are going to be great for the Philostone build. Good fight. Oh, it's a close one. Didn't think I was going to make it. Devotion turns up in the first? You've got to take the Devotion that turns up in the first. So, Devotion, at the start of your turn, gain 2 Mantra. When you have 10 Mantra, you enter Divinity. Divinity upon entering this stance, rather, gain 3 energy, attack, deal triple damage, exit this stance at the start of your next turn. So, all of this together, Devotion upgrades to 3 Mantra. So if you have 1 unupgraded Devotion and 1 upgraded Devotion, you're in Divinity stance every second turn. That can be really strong, in my experience. Yeah, I'm gonna hard defend my way through this. Ooh, it didn't get better this turn. Yikes. I can take 4 damage this turn if I Eruption to kill the backliner. So it's Eruption and then double strike the backliner and double defend because I get the 2 extra energy after exiting the calm stance. Alternatively, I mean, I can double strike the frontliner, but I won't even be able to kill them, and then I defend and take 10. So yeah, the correct one is actually cop the 4. As this character, I feel like much more commonly than other characters, and I feel like I have made this point before, but I don't know whether I've made it on stream or not, and my life at the moment is either streaming this game, recording Atomic Crops, recording Dicey Dungeon, or sleeping. So it all kind of is blending together for me at the moment, so I do apologize if I've accidentally violated the rule where I was trying to keep the stream and the series on YouTube in particular separated from one another. I'm trying to keep them separated. I'm trying to take Offspring's advice. But in particular with this character, it feels like a lot more than other characters. You need to be comfortable with the idea of acceptable losses. Like there, you have to take the 4 so you don't take the 7. But also, combine that with the fact that this character is, like, with their retain mechanics and specifically their stances as well, is largely about planning not this turn, not next turn, but the turn after that as well. Sometimes you have to deal with almost abhorrent upfront acceptable losses. There have been fights where I'm like, I have to take 40 damage right now because otherwise I take 70 next turn. Although, you know, ideally we'll mitigate that a little bit here. I'm not really comfortable with any of these. Wreath of Flame doesn't seem like it has enough activators anymore. Like, Flurry of Blows used to combo with this because it was a multi-hit. But now there's like 2 multi-hits. There's Ragnarok. And there's Flying Sleeves. A rare and a common. Pretty weak. Pretty weak by my immediate estimation. Not only is there a shop in 2 spaces time, there's a shop after the first elite as well. I think I actually do take this. I usually wouldn't. Ooh. Okay. Extra energy on the first turn. Let's see if it's necessary. Yeah, there's the Flying Sleeves we were talking about. Okay, first cut is obviously get the Regret out of the deck. I don't really like any of the cards there, nor the relics, so what I'm gonna do is get Devotion upgraded to try and push through this fight. Ideally, this fight is anything except for the Sentinels. I've spoken about it before, but I think the Sentinels, especially with the base deck for this character, are really, really difficult to counter. There's 3 AoEs. There's Crescendo, which is Crescendo. Consecrate, which is very low damage and not particularly great outside of Wrath builds in my experience. Again, all of this is very, very preliminary experience. I hold the right to completely change any of these opinions at any time in the future where I gain more information and more experience, right? But if I didn't state any opinion at this point, I'd be doing a lot of nothing, right? I'd be providing no commentary whatsoever. So instead, you get half-ish baked opinions as I kind of try and work my way through the character. But in particular, the Sentinel fight is really, really, really punishing for this character. So I usually pick up the first Bowling Bash that I see, because otherwise it's Consecrate, Bowling Bash, and Conclude as your AoE options, and they're not particularly great. Okay. Okay. This is fine. So yeah, ideally we wouldn't be weak this turn, but I'll instead start letting that Devotion stack up. Pretty dang decent defense. And that one's a bit rough. I'm in Divinity in 2 turns time, but the problem is I'm about to give up. See, here's an example of what I would call acceptable losses, right? I'm about to take 38 damage this turn. Why? Well, because if I'm not in an Eruption stance for dealing damage this turn and strike is very little next turn, we just had a really, really bad draw. Basically, if this was our first hand and the current one that we have was our second, we would be in heaven. Fine, I'm not going to go for the acceptable losses, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hate that I've got doubt constantly active on the turns where I definitely don't want to be doubting. Ouch. Just ouch. Toy Ornithopter, whenever you use a potion, heal for 5, as well as the explosive potion, much important. We'll take a Protect for defending ourselves. So Protect was obviously nerfed, but it's still ridiculously good. Lesson Learned is available, and I don't think you ever turn that down. Obviously, I would like the idea of going Chemical X and then card removal, but I can't take Chemical X if I don't have anything to work with yet. Because the saddest story of all time is spending 152 on Chemical X here and then never finding Collect. Collect being the X cost skill, gain 2 energy at the start of your next X turns, upgrades to X+1. I think we take Bowling Bash Lessons Learned. We're not going to be able to card remove, but both of those are really, 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 really. They're really, right? And I think I might take a Fire Potion so I can try and push my way through this elite. Yeah, I'm going to do that. It'll also give me 5 HP from the Toy Ornithopter, and it's a slight consideration to make. Melange. This is a new relic. It's common. Whenever you shuffle your draw pile, scry 3. I'm giving up the money, especially if I want to go for the elite here. I can't take that. So I definitely want to go Eruption here because I'm very hopeful I get Lessons Learned so I can upgrade a card permanently. Worship, gain Find Mantra. So that'll bootstrap the Devotion. I think we do that. This fight is pretty bad, but it's a lot better with the Explosive Potion. It's also a lot better with that protect. And specifically with the bowling bash in the deck as well. Don't forget that one. Yeah. Protect, defends. I don't want to lessons learned that turn. Bowling bash the frontliner. Defend, devotion, and strike the back. Yeah, because the frontliner in the worst case scenario just dies to the explosive potion. Obviously, I want lessons learned as soon as possible here. Okay. So if I eruption on the backliner, I can then bowling bash to... Yeah. It's eruption on the backliner, bowling bash to kill you, and then strike to kill the frontliner. Saving us the explosive potion. And then I use the fire potion this turn to activate the lesson learned. Neat. Reserved insect. Enemies in elite combat have 25% less HP, as well as Inner Peace, Follow Up, and Weave. Inner Peace is the new version of Inner Peace. If you are in Calm, draw 3 cards, otherwise enter Calm, upgrades to 4. We're ideally not going to be in Calm often. We're trying to make this a mantra build, so hard pass. So ideally what I'm going to do here is never end a fight unless I am ending it with lessons learned. Which works perfectly here. Hits that devotion. Lovely, lovely. Prostrate. Gain 1, upgrades to 2 mantra and 4 block. This is a new prostrate. Having that just to push me over the top after devotion is actually really useful. I know I'm taking a lot of mantra cards that aren't necessarily going to work with one another, but I don't want to rely on devotion entirely here if I can avoid it. And this is remove the doubt. Okay. Another thing is, in particular, in the slime boss fight, I really need to get into Divinity early. So we're going to go for the upgrade on Worship. Whoa, hang on. Worship's upgrade is now Retain. That's honestly better for us in the long run, but I thought its upgrade was innate. In fact, I know its upgrade was innate. Hang on. Have the patch notes... Have I got dunked on by the patch note? Oh, they're different. Okay. Oh, Akabeko. Damn. All right. All right. Let's have a look at this. Bug fix. None of those are particularly important. Okay. Akabeko, its damage on increase for the first attack you play has been increased from 3 to 9. Consecrate deals additional damage, and Consecrate Plus it deals 2 additional damage. Neat. Sneck Oil is being reworked. That's really important. I have been complaining about Sneck Oil since its inclusion in the game. Tranquility, previously Clear the Mind, has been buffed to Retain. Good. Good, that's very important. I made the point prior that I thought there was an inequity between Wrath and Calm, specifically because Crescendo, which is the 1 cost upgrades to 0 cost, Retain, Exhaust, enter Wrath, has its counterpart in Tranquility, but the Tranquility, which was enter Calm, didn't have Retain. Now it does. This makes the start switching build a little better, which I don't know if it needed. Tungsten Rod is now a rare relic. We'll also have a look at Tungsten Rod in just a moment here. And Worship upgrade changed from giving Innate to giving Retain. If only I had read that. If only I had read that. Okay. Where are you? Ah, yeah, over here. Cool. It is down in... There we go. Tungsten Rod. Whenever you lose HP, lose 1 less. It's going to be one of those slow burn value relics. I'm still not entirely sold on the idea. Oh, hang on. I get the ability to revoke that upgrade. I'm not going to want to, though. Yep. Go all for it. Yeah, I got to get out of that mode because unfortunately we're going to be exactly one short. Should I weaken the enemy or should I hold? No, I'm going to blow them up in like a turn and a half. Right? I worship this turn, and then I deal 27, 21, 27, 21, 48. 18, 48, 18 is 66. We'll do that. Totally happy to do that. Uh-huh. And this in particular is why as well. I am going to have to Eruption Lesson Learn the same target in order to kill. Although I can Vigilance first. Still, we got the upgrade, and now we're in Wrath at the end of the turn. We've got this. Good. Very, very glad that I didn't waste extra resources here. And also that I went for the upgrade before we came into the fight. Ragnarok, deal 5 damage to a random enemy 5 times. Reach Heaven, deal 8 damage, shuffle a Through Violence into your draw pile. Through Violence is the 0 cost, deal 20 damage. Through Violence doesn't specifically retain, which makes it a little more difficult to use in this build as like a giant damage dealer for our divinity turns, because we can't necessarily line those up. Alpha, obviously, we had, like, in 2 episodes ago, we had a really good alpha time. I like Ragnarok in a build that has the ability to trigger Divinity, because when you trigger Divinity, you gain 3 extra energy, so you can kind of pay for Ragnarok using that. And also, when Ragnarok is upgraded, it's 36 damage, and when that's tripled, it's a billion. That's how math works. Interesting. Interesting. So, Calling Bell. Upon pickup, obtain a unique curse and 3 relics. I have picked this up since it has been modified and changed. So, I don't have the specific drive to pick it up just because it's new. I'm honestly looking at the Cursed Key. Cursed Key is one of my favorite energy relics because the downside always seems so mitigatable compared to the others. And also, this character does put a lot of very high cost cards in her deck. One problem. This character doesn't have good access to draw that does not change stance. So this character has Empty Minds, which is a 1-cost skill, exit your stance, draw 2 cards, upgrades to 3. So that obviously exits the stance, so you can't use that as draw on the turn that you have already triggered Divinity. And specifically because we have Devotion as one of our Divinity triggers, we can't always confirm when we'll trigger Divinity. So that makes it a little harder to take. And then secondarily, obviously we saw Enter Calm beforehand. That was if you are in Calm, draw cards, right? So draw provided outside of that. I mean, like, specifically, Prostrate was reworked. It used to shuffle a card into your deck called Insight that was a 0-cost skill that drew 2 cards. No longer does that. I mean, it also made you vulnerable, right? But, you know. Prostrate's probably the weakest part of this build now that we have the Worship in here. But, yeah, we're going to be very, very draw light, right? So this character can have, like, pseudo-draw in Retain. Retaining cards from your previous turn being considered a form of having extra cards in your next hand, which is pseudo-draw. What is my problem with doing that? What's my problem with doing that? Well, my problem with doing that is the lower immediate impact. Right? Because if you are going to be retaining cards, you have to draw cards and then not want to use those retained cards on that turn. And I'm not necessarily certain we wouldn't. That said, we do have enough energy. It might be Pandora's. Bear with me. I mean, we have 3 upgrades, but we will always have had 3 upgrades on bad cards. Like, Lessons Learned just works like that. But Lessons Learned will have the chance of upgrading those kinds of things. We already have 1 block, 2 block, 3 block. We have 3 block triggers in there. I'm doing it. Okay. How screwed did we get? So this is now a start switching build. Like Mental Fortress, Crescendo, Meditate, Tantrum, Empty Body. I mean, we've got a lot of start switching available here. Weave is garbage and we'll cut it pretty soon. Both of those Just Luckies allow us to fetch Weave, I guess, but that's like really, really weak because what happens when you draw Weave into your hand instead of Just Lucky? You have a bad turn, right? Yeah, that was a pretty poor result. That was a pretty poor result. I was hoping for a couple more rares in there. The rares for this character are consistently higher cost, so. All right. I still think we'll try and hunt out elites this floor, especially as a result of having the Preserved Insect. Yeah, this is going to be a really bad turn. Okay, so if I don't even need to meditate first. So if I Tantrum, then I can, what, 7, 30, and 6? 30 and 13, it's 43. I guess I can hit that on the backliner and then Explosive Potion. But then I'm taking 24 from you anyway, so what have I done? Right. Set myself up better for the kill next turn. I mean, look, I'm taking 24 this turn if I don't do that, so why wouldn't I? There's no need to get the extra energy from Meditate unless I care about playing Worship this turn. Do I care about playing Worship this turn? I guess. Oh! Sweet! We actually got the Weave, so we don't have to use the Explosive Potion. Neat. I'm not going to use the Weak Potion. I don't want to use a potion unless I already have some HP missing as a result of the Toy Ornithopter. Mental Fortress. Go back into Calm. I could even Crescendo into Protect here. And in fact, I want to. Right? This enemy's not guaranteed to attack next turn, but I'm pretty much guaranteed to have Ragnarok in hand. Okay. 7. Yeah, I'm actually going to use the Explosive Potion here just to get the Lessons Learned out. Upgrading Protect. Good hit. Sanctity. Okay, this is really important. So I forgot about Sanctity being a card draw like engine for this class. And it is. And it's perfect. It's exactly what we need. So Sanctity used to be stronger in terms of block, but it only drew you 1 card, but now it draws 2. This is like a couple of Sanctities will save this build from the Pandora's result. Well, I mean, look, Apparition will save this build from the Pandora's result as well. You never don't. You never don't. Upgrade all strikes and defends. Well, let me just think about that for a moment. Oops. I accidentally clicked something else. I think we get rid of the... Prostrate is still some defense. But we don't need that because we have the apparitions now, right? Yeah, I still don't want those Just Luckies. They're just really, really poor attacks for when I'm in Divinity. Get both of them out of the deck? Sure. Especially when you're triplicating the damage. 2 extra damage on Weave over the 2 block and Scry on Just Lucky makes a lot more sense. Could have been much, much worse than that. I'd love another Bowling Bash in this deck as well. That would be a great pickup. Empty Body Ragnarok. Let's Ragnarok first, actually. See if we put anyone on the ground. Hilarious. 1, 1. To be fair, that was like a very likely result. Not reasonable to complain about that. Enter Roth so I can kill you. Good thing I have Apparition. Hard to skip those. I'm gonna throw a quick Tanty. Because Ragnarok's in the next hand. Guaranteed. Neat. Duplication potion. Very, very important here. I'll drop the Essence of Steel for it. Bowling Bash. It's exactly what I asked for, and it's exactly what I got. Thank you, game. You're so kind. That's a garbage turn. It's okay, at the very least we have Apparition, so it's not that bad. Okay, Mental Fortress, Eruption hits the backliner, I'll Bowling Mash you as well. Apparition, and I'm gonna wait. I've got another Bowling Bash in the deck. I could easily just go straight for the Gremlin Knob. If this kills an enemy, it doesn't have to kill a non-minion enemy. Doesn't have to kill a non-minion enemy. Got that Ragnarok upgraded. Neat. I don't think I'm going into Mantra, but I think it's possible the Gremlin Leader attacks next turn. Not likely, but possible. Meat on the bone. If your HP is at or below 50% at the end of the fight, heal for 12 HP. It's not going to be particularly useful for us. Worship Sanctity. Devotion. Okay, never mind. This turn has become much more salvageable. Getting those out early in particular, obviously, is incredible for us. If Prostrate was upgraded, we'd already be in the mode this turn, but we wouldn't want to be in the mode this turn. Yep. I'm going to take 1 damage here, just so I can hold my Protect. And then I'm going to Ragnarok for fun. Got him. Sure, I didn't Lessons Learned there, and I should have Lessons Learned there, and that was a bad play. What, did it sound like I was going to redeem it? No, it was dumb. Okay, so I've got 35 available in those two. If this gets double cast, I have 55. I'm doing that then. Empty Body gets upgraded, but again, it's not the Empty Body that's currently in play. It's the Empty Body in the Master deck. We'll hit Apparition so we can stay in Wrath. Told you. I don't need to play Worship until it actually does the effects. The Retain might actually be a buff. I was initially looking at it as a nerf, but I feel pretty wrong about that now. Not the target I thought was gonna die. However, I was pretty certain one of them was. No. Hard pass. Hard pass. Don't need any of those in there. Dreamcatcher. Whenever you rescue mana card to your deck, I'm taking the Sapphire Key. We might go for the heart. Is this the low-key start of the Ascension grind? May well be. I'm going to Eruption the frontliner to murder the backliner. And then I'm going to get back into Calm. I should have done that first. I would have had 4 more block from the Mental Fortress. For some reason, I thought it was possible I was going to be playing Worship this turn. Meditate gets upgraded. One of the cards that I'm intending on removing, so good one. It's Crescendo, Sanctity, Devotion, Apparition, and Pass. Rag on him. Fossilized Helix. Prevent the first time you lose HP each combat. I don't know if this has been fixed, but this used to prevent death by blasphemy. Deceive Reality. Gain 4 block and add a safety into your hands that then gives you 12. Upgrades to give you an upgraded safety, so 6 that gives you 15. So this is 2 energy to block for 21. That's a pretty good amount of block for that. That's not bad. However, you can also retain half of it. This card is really powerful. It's not good in this deck because we have the apparitions and we don't intend to go for that kind of a build, but it's really powerful in general. Master's Strategy would be so incredible here. All right, there's the Tungsten Rod. Whenever you lose HP, lose 1 less. Here's also Wallop. Until next turn, prevents damage. So, why is Wallop valuable? I've heard the discussion in one of the comment sections recently talking about I will never see Wallop as anything except for an overcosted dash. So, the way that I approach that, and the way that I've approached a lot of discussions about comparisons to cards from other characters is yes, but it isn't in that character, right? So, obviously, that's like a kind of facile point to make at that point, but let me express it like this. It's not in that character. Each character has different strengths and weaknesses, but they also have different things that can synergize with it. For instance, Wallop is excellent in a start switching build because you go into Wrath, you Wallop, and then you get out of Wrath. Also, this character has the ability to generate energy kind of unlike any other character in the game at the moment. So 3 cost isn't that big. Wallop's excellent. I think Wallop is great, and I think it's probably our take here. Especially in a turn where I'm in Divinity, Wallop is just like block for the entire turn and deal a bunch of damage. It's great. Now I need Lesson Learned upgraded so that I can kind of more easily use it for lethal. Antibody Sanctity. Apparition, Prostrate. Rough stuff there. Okay. Mental, Vigilance, and Apparition as well. Yeah, we're just going to be setting up for Mantra. Thank you, Devotion, for turning up in this hand rather than the next one. If I protect, I save my buffer. Buffer against this target doesn't mean that much, though. Also, I was already in Calm. Ryan, you knew there was a better solution in that turn. I'm sure you did. Because you eventually figured it out. Apparition, and I'll Weave and Meditate because there's no need to be in this form anymore. I also probably should have burned the Bowling Bash there because I don't want to draw it. I have draw in hand. Yeah, I do. Cool. We've got this. Crescendo gets upgraded. Pretty not happy to see that, to be entirely honest with you. Step and strike. Costs 1 less per switch stance this turn. Again, comparison to dash, but also this is very commonly 0 or 1 cost. That said, not for us. I'm gonna risk it. Crescendo Sanctity, find me Apparition. Thank you. So Ragnarok at the moment is 72 damage. We'll do that and weave. Setting up for the lesson learned, obviously. Apparition. Tantrum. I don't really want to meditate. Wallop and Devotion as well, and then we've got it. I mean, unless we get extremely unlucky and it's on the bottom of the deck. Rolling Bash. Dead Branch. When you exhaust a card, add a random card into your hand. Okay, this character has the... We might want to take that, but also Foreign Influence is really, really good. Okay. Dead Branch. When you exhaust a card, add a random card into your hand. I might actually take exclusively Foreign Influence based on the fact that I have Dead Branch. So, why do we do that? Well... Obviously, we have a lot of things that already exhaust in this deck. We've got all of those apparitions. We've got Crescendo. We've got Lesson Learned to an extent. Usually that's used as a finisher regardless. But also we'll now have Foreign Influence. I just mentioned this character is really, really good at making extra energy. And entering Divinity is 3 extra energy. Entering Divinity from Calm is 5 extra energy. I've also talked about the fact that this character doesn't have access to draw, or rather, in this deck doesn't currently have access to draw in the way that I would like. Dead Branch is pseudo draw. We're doing it. We're going all the way with the Dead Branch. I'm in fact very pleased to see it. We'll upgrade Foreign Influence because the upgraded attack stays in the deck, so that could be really impactful over the course of the fight. I'm going to meditate to burn that weave. Get Tranquility to enter Calm. I'm already in Calm. At least it retains, though. Wish. Choose a chosen card in your draw pile, play the chosen card twice and exhaust it. Is there any of these that I would want to play twice and exhaust? And if there is, why is it definitely Devotion? There is, and it's definitely Devotion. Funny that. So I'll exit my stance to gain extra energy, and then I'll wish on a Devotion. 2 copies of that. I mean, already I will be in Divinity every other turn. Whew. Alright, start with Foreign Influence here. Let's reach heaven. Like 100% of the time here. The Through Violence is also going to gain us extra cards. Path to Victory, that also exhausts as well, by the way. Very neat to have. Gives us an Apparition, which is exactly what we wanted from it. Another Devotion. We don't really need that play, to be entirely honest with you. Alright, let's enter Calm. And then exit it, gaining extra energy. And then I'm gonna Tantrum, Bowling Bash on you, and Bowling Bash on you, just to start whittling them down. I'm in Divinity next turn, so I'm already out of Wrath. Got him. Yeah. Unfortunately here, I'm very reliant on the Apparition generating cards that do things for me, because this is a bad hand. Yeah, it's not going to do it. Alright. Well, we're leaving Divinity already. That's what you gotta do, that's what you gotta do. Okay, I can worship this turn. But I should burn the Crescendo first. Looking for damage. Didn't find it. I'll use this one, though. Ooh, actually, I'll use Sanctity for the draw first. Yeah, because I'm not going to want that in the next cycle. I don't need this many worships. Let's try those too easily. Okay, then we use this worship, changing into divinity. Apparition, definitely. And then bowling bash, bowling bash. It does damage, but not what I wanted. And then end this. I'm going to burn that empty mind out. Dave of Form, neat. Neat pickup right there. Okay. Worship to get back into divinity. I think I will use Lesson Learned early here. Especially because it exhausts and gives me something else. Oh, scroll! You can outplay skills for the rest of the turn. I'm happy with that. I only want attacks here. I don't really care about that extra devotion either. But next turn, I don't want to be in Wrath. Although I most... Next turn, do I want to be in Wrath? I most likely have access to Apparition. If I don't, then Wallop is actually really good for us in Wrath form. Sure. Sure. No matter which of the 2 attacks I played at the end there, I was going to be ending the turn in Wrath, right? That's a really big hit. Good thing I don't have to care about it at all. Maybe I just take the hit. Yeah. I'm just gonna cop this hit. What are you gonna do about it? That's what I thought. Exactly nothing. Got him. Dave of Form, Vault, and Unraveling. Vault, unfortunately, ends the turn. Right, so... it's useful, definitely. But it ends the turn, so you can no longer, like, queue off with the Dead Branch. Dave of Form is nice defense, especially when you have Apparitions in your deck, because then you don't have to defend as well as use an Apparition. You just have the Dave of Form doing it for you. Unraveling. Play all of the cards in your hand from left to right. Targets are chosen randomly. So there are a couple of cards that we specifically hold, but furthermore than that, we already have the energy to play all of our cards ourselves. Why would we use Raveling to do it? Especially, why would we use it to do it in oftentimes the wrong order? I'm going to take a Dave of Form. Obviously, we can't go for the Velvet Choker. I'm looking at the Sacred Corn Chip here. Doubles the effectiveness of potions. We don't currently have potions that we care about being affected by this. But, like, do I care about Astrolabe more than it? A little bit. A little bit. We could get rid of Prostrate, Mental Fortress, and Weave all at the same time. And get upgraded other cards. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it. Oh, whoa, what happened? Nirvana, garbage, because our deck is already upgraded. Ragnarok is obviously incredible. Flow State doesn't work in a Divinity build. This is one problem I do have with Flow State. I saw Rail say, find someone... Find someone who looks at you and talks about you in the way that Ryan looks and talks about Flow State, which is 100% true in everything except for a Divinity build. That's a little bit garbage. So getting Ragnarok and I guess getting Nirvana that will burn itself out effectively is enough. Nirvana will upgrade the cards that are generated by Dead Branch over the course of the fight. That's one benefit it has. It's one tangible benefit it still has. Alright, I have to go up this path. I mean, there's 2 shops, which are neat. I mean, I'll remove 2 garbage cards there, but we want that Emerald Elite. Bad time for Grand Finale. I mean, I don't take damage this turn either way, right? I apparition and then I block with the buffer anyway, so I may as well just block with the buffer. That's a fine hand. Mm-hmm. I don't want this to be played with targets chosen randomly. Clarity is really, really good when you have Dead Branch in particular. In fact, I'll use it here. Use one card to keep, the rest are exhausted. Wait, are we in Wrath form? I don't think we're in Wrath form. So we have to keep the Tantrum. We're in Wrath form. I really wish you could actually see your form while you were doing wireheading. Although that's only a problem for me because I'm a little bit dumb. So it might not be something that actually necessarily does need to be changed. I'm gonna worship just to get a kill on someone else at some other... never mind. We knew we were gonna get that. I definitely didn't just bad. I'm glad that I immediately confirmed the the statement I'd prior made. Consecrate. Fear no evil is incredibly powerful, but not in this build. Consecrate plus 8 damage to all enemies. 18 after the upgrade. Sorry, 18 after the divinity. Wait, what? No, not 18. How would it be 18? 24. Yeah, we should be able to do this one. There's a lot of good rare relics out there. So Eruption Wallop gives us 24 block. But then the enemy does 34 in the front line, so it's not that great. It's probably Nirvana. Like, as much as I want to Wallop this turn, it's probably... Actually, you know what? It is Wallop. It's Wallop and Protect. Like, literally, those perfectly block us. Keeps that buffer. We don't get Nirvana out, though. Obviously, double apparition here first. Judgment. Don't have access to using that yet. Signature move. Very good, but do I want to take the damage? No. No. Devotion's a great pickup. Neat. Start with Sanctity for the draw. Devotion, Apparition... Apparition, and then should I crescendo out a Master Reality? Yeah. So we'll crescendo out Master Reality in order to start stacking up smites so that when we do go into a divinity turn, we have a bunch of smites to just blow up enemies. I'm okay with taking one. Worship, and should have gone with the Lessons Learned. I looked at my whole hands, and Lessons Learned was the final card, so as it was loading, I was committing my turn to Brain. Every 6 turns, gain 1 intangible. I always love Incense Burner in a build that already has intangibility in it, because a lot of the time you find yourself, like, allowing yourself to extend for multiple turns. Neat. It's neat. Also, because intangibility, stacks up, you just block for 6. It's neat. Hard pass again. I'm happy to get rid of Nirvana here. It's far too slow in impact, and oftentimes by the time we get in the second cycle, we've already killed. Okay, so I'll meditate first, doing nothing. Then I'll crescendo. I'll apparition David form as well. I'll talk to the hand and follow up. An inner piece for entering calm at the end of the turn? I think not. I want to draw Ragnarok for the kill next turn. Draw Ragnarok? Nope. Last reality smite will be enough though. Got him. Wreath of Flame. I have 2 copies of Ragnarok in the deck, and Wreath of Flame's effect will be tripled. I'm going to try that out. Maybe Wreath of Flame is really good, and I'm just underestimating it. I mean, I definitely am in this hand. Ooh. Ooh. Give him the business. I'm not going to burn that Apparition, because if it burns ethereally, yeah, it adds its result to my next hand instead. I'm going to do that, and then Empty Mind afterwards. Okay. Apparition into Tantrum, Consecrate. Eruption. Then I don't scroll. That's fine. That's fine. I can hold until I lesson learned here. And in fact, it'll be correct too. Omniscience. Scry my draw pile. Sure. I don't want any of that. I guess I'll keep Sanctity there for the draw. Devotion. Vigilance. Come on. I know it's in there somewhere. Well, evidently not. Sweet. Perseverance, talk to the hand, and protect. Talk to the hand in a deck that already has Ragnarok is ridiculous. You can gain so much defense. Hello, Nemesis. It's nice to see you're a little bit puny here because I'm usually terrified of you. Specifically as this character, I'm oftentimes terrified of the Nemesis. Okay, at least we haven't got like all of our good cards on this turn in particular. That's the tragedy that I usually expect. I'm going to meditate to burn Flying Sleeves and Tantrum. Sanctity for the draw and get another block up. Sweet. That's totally fine. Worship into Ragnarok. Pretty good turns right there. Pretty good turns. Tranquility, Fear No Evil, and pass. Upgrade all cards you can no longer heal. We're already upgrading our entire deck. No need to do that. Just fight the boss. Eruption Ragnarok. Wreath of Flame Ragnarok. Good fight. Cloak Clasp. Okay, new relic. At the end of your turn, gain 2 block for each card in your hand. Especially because oftentimes we end our turn after having exhausted a bunch of cards. That's going to be really powerful. No need for any of those. Protect is the closest on the offer. It's far too late to take a Prismatic Shard. We're not going to get any impact out of it. That's really unfortunate. I do like seeing Prismatic Shard early as this character. I guess just for the fun of it. We'll definitely take Sanctity. We've got a shop in a couple spaces time as well, and probably a shop on the next floor, so I should consider that. We'll take Sanctity. That duplication potion is probably significantly better than a weak potion for a deck that doesn't take damage. And then card exclude. I honestly want the flow state out of the deck. Is it the worst, though? No, I'm pivoting for damage oftentimes with this. It might actually be flow state right now. I'm really sad about it, if that helps at all. And I'll take a Flash of Steel just for a bunch of extra damage. Girya, you can now gain strength at rest sites up to 3 times maximum. We'll do that 2 times, and at the start of the next floor as well. Orange Pellets. Whenever you play a power attack and skill in the same turn, remove all of your debuffs. Signature move is also a really good finisher for this kind of build. Although I can't guarantee that I won't generate attacks like Conclude or Vault that end my turn from the Dead Branch, which makes signature move a little harder to play. It's probably just card exclude again then. Because I don't have that many negatives that occur on me. In fact, I have none. Like, obviously I can purge the negative effect from some bosses and stuff, but like Frailty and Vulnerability are applied on the first turn for 3 turns against the heart. I'll be intangible for the first 5 turns of that fight. So Frailty and Vulnerability don't matter to me. It would remove weakness, but that's a far cry from what I really care about. So the next removal is probably Tantrum now. Yeah, Crescendo retains and it exhausts, so it's Tantrum. I'm gonna lift. Oh no, I'm gonna have to collect here. Dang. Oh well. We need as many apparitions as we can get out this turn. As much as I want to Sanctity my... Oh. No. As much as I want to Sanctity my way through the entire deck right now, being intangible on the next turn so both of these daggers just die against me is pretty effective. Alright, I'm gonna Wreath of Flame Bowling Bash the midliner here. For fun and profit. Also gonna throw a Vulnerability Potion on the back line. Oh, 14 becomes 21, Ryan. I'm short 1 in every direction. It's tragic. Entirely my fault. Mind. That doesn't make it not tragic. Eruption, that, and murder. Missed out on the upgrade and I wasted a thing. But hey, I got a Fear Potion back. Never mind, it's all fine. Obviously, I knew that was going to happen. Evaluate now drops a insight into your draw pile, which is card draw as well as an exhausting card itself. Transform your hand into miracles. Excellent. 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 Garbage cards at the end of your turn? Well, play Brilliance and have a whole nother turn. Thanks, Dead Branch. Crescendo so I can Mind Blast to insta-kill a target. Brilliance. Oh, I got a bunch of miracles. I guess I'll play them. See what I get. Simmering Fury is really powerful. Pretty good turn. Pretty good turn overall. I'm not intangible this turn, so I'm just gonna have to go protect. Protect Devotion, and then end the turn. Thank you, Cloak Clasp, for keeping us honest at the end there. Cleanse Evil. Add X smites to your hand. Upgraded smites after that. I don't think we need that with the amount of damage that we ultimately do have in the deck, but I did want that earlier. The time has since passed. Vigilance. Eruption. Ragnarok. Great opener. I'm not happy to have lost the Brilliance there, but it wasn't going to be good that turn anyway. I'm going to Empty Body Sanctity for the draw. Or an Influence finds a... I'm going to use a Poison Stab, I think. Just for the small, persistent damage. Okay. Crescendo our way in. Ooh, double Devotion. Excellent thing to see there. Because that means on the final turn where the enemy is dealing the most damage, like... Ugh, I'm going to be in Divinity form, but also the enemy is going to be dead, so... Well, not they're going to be dead, but I'm going to be intangible. So it doesn't matter. Hit him. Hit him. Hit him again. Hit him with a rim. Lovely. Bowling Back, Crescendo, battle him. Hard pass. Skill potion over anything I have. Hard pass as well. We're going to have to recall here, so we're only going to get 2 strength from Girya, but it's still pretty ridiculous with a Ragnarok. Talk to the hands. Consecrate, Apparition, and Deva form. The necessities only. We'll start with Flash of Steel. Wreath of Flame into Sanctity. Bowling Bash to kill 1 target, and Apparition. Bowling Bash, I wasn't counting when I was counting the multi-hits. That was wrong. I should have been counting it. Not reliably a multi-hit, but still a multi-hit. Start with Crescendo. No, Crescendo. Ragnarok here. Brilliance out that entire hand and start going for other stuff instead. Straight Bowling Bash. And now we're back to 32 incoming. We're fully protected. Whew. All right. So we did have to lose a mantra in order to do that, but I'm okay with it. Clearly. Oh, that wish on Devotion would be so good right now. It's not necessary, but God, it would be good. The only way to do it would be double the miracle with a duplication potion, but duplication potions are worth far more than that. Fine. Can't do the flashy thing here. I gotta do the flashy things against the heart. Almost fine for us. So, Sanctity our way into a new deck. Again, Wish is just slightly unplayable. Frustratingly enough. Deus Ex Machina, when you draw this card, so it's only on draw, by the way, add 2 miracles to your hand and exhaust. Obviously incredible with the Dead Branch. Sorry, my throat stopped working. This might be the only episode of Slay the Spire today. My throat is just giving me a very, very large warning sign to shut up. At the very least, I'll also be publishing the... Unless I start to feel better. At the very least, I'll also be publishing a previously recorded Slay the Spire live where Twitch chat drafts my cards. And they're always quite good fun. I only clip out the most insane games. Oh god. Yeah, no, I'm gonna finish this episode and get out of here. Oh. Oh, that's no good. Just bowling dash at the end there. Ooh, this is a bad experience. I'll keep it together to the end of the run. But yeah, I'm definitely not doing the second Slay the Spire episode today. I do apologize about that, but health is a top priority. I can't imagine anyone's gonna get mad about that. Y'all have been very, very kind, like incredibly kind and understanding over these kinds of things. No need to worry about me in particular. Like, this has happened occasionally. It just means that I need to stop talking. Okay. Let's get crushed joints out there. The heart fight should be pretty formulaic, thankfully. I'll Ragnarok and then Wreath of Flame afterwards, because I don't need it first. But I'm setting up for the next Ragnarok, and ideally for a turn where I'm also in Divinity, so Ragnarok. Ragnarok's next! Oh, but I can't get it. Yeah, I have to waste the first turn. Dang it. Or rather, waste the first hit. Eruption at the end of the turn. And thankfully I have the buffer, so that it doesn't matter to me at all. I've also got intangibility on this turn, just in case. I'm gonna Master Reality to start getting smites. Then just Crush Joints, Bowling Bash. I don't want to change stance, especially when the enemy is so close to dead. Okay. 10:38. Doing fine so far. We'll go for the lift. I don't know if I can afford a card removal. We'll probably just look for the best relic. Sorry, not best relic, best potion. Sanctity card draw is still pretty good. Still pretty good. In terms of potions, vulnerability is great, but we're already going to be hitting damage caps. You know what? No, it's block potion we get rid of for the power potion. Good lord. Sorry about the way this episode has ended. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. Just gotta take a break. Alright, let's go for Artifact and then Bowling Bash. Because otherwise I'm gonna lose the strength here. I don't want to lose that when I have the Ragnarok still left. Start with a Crescendo, so I deal extra damage. Flurry of Blows. Great. One down. potion, and then I'm just gonna brilliance this turn. Honestly, not bad. Honestly, a not bad way to end that turn. I do want another upgrade on another card, ideally. So I worship to gain extra energy this turn. I'll Flurry of Blows, Deva, and then Vigilance. Okay, we hard pass in, we're fine. Lesson learned. Horn Cleat, excellent. So we've finally seen this relic. At the start of your second turn, gain 12 block. Extra energy at the start of your next X turns. I mean, we just don't stop. No, but talk to the hand. Talk to the hand. Yeah, we can get a lot of block out of it. Too much block out of it, almost. See what we get from the... We'll see what we get from the Power Potion. Master Reality is the best one, though. I'm gonna have to protect before I start Sanctity. Deus Ex Machina is going to be really good in the next cycle. Okay. Duplication Potion on Devotion. Use Streamline here, actually. Try and lower its cost. So I want to wait until the turn where the enemy is about to try and gain... where the enemy is about to try and gain their... what's it called again? Where they're about to try and gain artifacting before I put the Fear Potion on them. I'm gonna burn all of those. I'm taking a lot of damage on these hits, but unfortunately, I'm not finding defense. Oh, God. I mean, I've still got to deal damage to them. Talk to the hand first so that we can start gaining some block here. Smite, Windmill, and then Signature Move. Great. All of that should have been done with Vulnerability, but even without it, the enemy is almost dead. Or rather, has taken almost... Yeah. They still took the maximum amount of damage they're capable of taking in one turn. That doesn't make my play correct. So you can... I'm a little distracted. Apparition Deva form seems correct to me here. That'll do it. Hard pass those. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to kill this turn, but... like... talk to the hand, and then... Ragnarok is pretty effective both defensively and offensively here. Roll up with a wallop. And we're going to be using Worship and Double Smite to kill next turn. Got him. Alright. I'm going to go get some warm tea and honey. Take care of myself. All y'all out there, why don't you take care of yourselves as well? It's lovely having you around. I really appreciate your company. I know it's one-sided in this particular instance, specifically while recording, but broadly speaking it isn't. And I hope you're doing okay out there. Sincerely do. My name's been Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Slay the Spire. I'm not gonna go for like a really effortful outro. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.